let's head into the Xfinity Series predictions. We're going to start with a round of 12. A lot more drivers in this one. A couple more rounds. Okay, I got to go a little faster this time. So, I'll dive in. Mine first, obviously. So, I have Chase Briscoe being the first seed. Then I have Austin Cindric, Harrison Burton, Noah Gragson, Justin Allgaier, Ross Chastain, Riley Herbst, Brandon Jones, Justin Haley, Michael Annett, Ryan Sieg, and Jesse Little I see squeezing through there. He's supposed to be running the full season. If he's not, well, then it doesn't matter because I don't see anyone else getting in that 12th spot anyways. So, I'm not going to go too in-depth on my picks because it's pretty obvious. Everyone's are going to be very similar until you get to like the 11th and 12th. The Xfinity Series this season is so garbage. Making 12 Xfinity playoff drivers was so hard. I had to reach and just, sure, Jesse Little. Like,
you should put that picture I sent you in when I was doing
As
it.
I read off mine, I'm the exact same boat with my bottom. So I have Justin Allgaier, who I actually think outside of he had a bit of a down year last year. Am I wrong in that
he
thinking?
made the Final Four.
Other than
He
that,
only
but
had
I
one
feel like
win,
for him it was a bit of a down year. I think with the fact that these bigger Bell and Custer are gone, I think he
And
kind of
Reddick.
and Reddick, yeah, I think he can kind of like swallow up some more wins. And then I have Cindric Jones, who I see having a better year than he's had. I don't know. I just feel like he might be able to come into his own, especially with the fact that this is a more open season. Because there's not a lot of like big name guys that there have been in recent years. I have Chase Briscoe, Harrison Burton, Ross Chastain, Noah Gragson, Riley Herbst, Michael Annett, Ryan Sieg, Justin Haley, and then my random one that I honestly couldn't think of a 12th guy. I put Ray Black Jr.
I didn't even know Ray Black Jr. was competing this year full time, so.
Yeah, well he was. So I was like, you know what? Screw it, pick him. He finished like
What
16th
cars
last year.
is
I
he
was like, you
driving?
know what? We'll just say he gets 12th.
Is he driving the 07 full time this year?
Yeah, I believe so.
So,
Interesting.
let's just head right into Isaiah's. He is Chase Briscoe's first seed. It's Justin Allgaier, Ross Chastain, Harrison Burton, Riley Herbst, Noah Gragson, Austin Cindric, Justin Haley, Michael Annett, Brandon Jones, Ryan Sieg, and Jeremy Clements. His is probably the most realistic in terms of drivers. I don't know about the order, but the drivers, Ryan Sieg, Jeremy Clements. I want to quickly point out why I didn't put Jeremy Clements, because I almost did. Whenever he won at Road Atlanta in 2017, or Road America in 2017, I was like, damn, dude, Jeremy Clements Racing, or whatever the team's called, is going to be pretty good in the future. And then 2018, 2019, like, my God, dude, he finished behind Gray Galding in points last year. Gray Galding in that 08 car was closer to making the playoffs than Jeremy Clements was. So,
Greg Galding very much outperformed his equipment.
yeah, and it looks like he probably won't have a ride this year. But it looks like it's by his own choice.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Chris Knight reported, or he retweeted, I don't know who reported it, that he informed the team that, like, last fall that he wouldn't be returning. So,
Interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah.
Thank you for that fun fact.
Yeah, so everyone stop hating Joe Graff for that reason. There's plenty of other reasons to hate on him, but not for that one. All right, Cody, you want to give us your predictions?
So what are you going to do, Isaiah's, or did you just do
I just did them, man.
Give me a sec. That Ray Black Jr. comment had me. Alright, so I have Austin Cindric being the number 1 seed. I think he gets 5 wins this year. Or did you guys not want to go into the win?
I mean, if you want to, you can, man. The more the merrier.
I think Austin Cindric has a huge year with 5+ wins. I think Chase Briscoe gets 4 wins or so. Then I have Ross Chastain. I know some of the people in here aren't very high on colleague racing, but I think they'll take a decent sized step after getting 2 wins last year in the Xfinity Series. I think that they'll have, and they're also going to have 3 cars at almost every race. Having Cup guys like Allmendinger come in, Austin Dillon will come in and help a little bit, and I think having
Wow,
Ross
what great
Chastain
drivers to push your program forward.
they're not awful, but I mean, I get what you're saying, but I think they're good for colleague.
Yeah.
So I think Chastain, I have him getting 3 wins. Everyone else is getting in based on points. I think the thing that was hard for me doing the Xfinity is you don't know when the Cup guys are going to come in, and I feel like they come in a lot more than when they do with the trucks because I think they are available 2 more. Isn't it 7 and 5 for the trucks? Anyway.
I think it's 7 for Xfinity, 5 for trucks, yeah.
Yeah, so then I had Gragson, then Allgaier, Harrison Burton, Brandon Jones, Justin Haley, Ryan Sieg, Michael Annett, Riley Herbst, and Jeremy Clements. Not much to really say about the back half. Half of them just are there because they have money.
All right, and we have Nick's predictions, which are the most interesting of the group. Michael Annett, Justin Allgaier, Justin Haley, Ross Chastain, Chase Briscoe, Noah Gregson, Riley Herbst, Harrison Burton, Jeremy Clements, Ryan Sieg, Austin Cindric, all the way in 11th, and then Brandon Jones in 12th. Dissect that a little bit.
Yeah, he has Michael Annett being the first seed heading into the playoffs. So
I think that's very interesting. Very bold pick there.
I feel like we should just end it on that Michael Annett note and head to the round of 8 for the Xfinity Series. Moved through it pretty solid. So, let's start with mine. I have Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, Harrison Burton, Noah Gregson, Justin Allgaier, Ross Chastain, Brandon Jones, and Justin Haley making the round of 8. Those who I have missing, Riley Herbst. I don't know what to expect with Riley. Everyone's hating on the pick, but in the races he ran in trucks, he didn't do god-awful. Like, he didn't go out there and dominate. He almost won Talladega. But, like, I don't know. He did terrible in ARCA, but ARCA and Xfinity are not that comparable. So
And K&N.
Oh yeah, but I don't know, man. I see him making the playoffs. I don't see him making the round of 8, but he is such an unknown. I don't know. I don't have Michael Annett advancing. I don't have Ryan Sieg advancing, and I don't have Jesse Little advancing. I like Ryan Sieg and Jesse Little a lot, and I feel like if their equipment was just a notch better, they probably would have beat out Brandon Jones and Justin Haley. Even though I like both of them enough, but honestly, just a underwhelming Xfinity Series, man.
All right, I'll jump into mine. I have Allgaier, Cindric, Jones, Briscoe, Harrison Burton, Chastain, Riley Herbst, and Michael Annett all advancing. I see Noah Gregson. I think if there's someone in that kind of higher up elite group in the Xfinity Series, it just gets unlucky, blown motor, gets caught up in a wreck, something. It's Noah Gregson for me. I think Ryan Sieg comes close. And I think Michael Annett just barely edges him out, and then Justin Haley and Ray Black Jr. Also are eliminated.
So if Gregson has good luck, do you think he advances?
If he has good luck, maybe. I always feel like there's one guy you're like, man, how did he get eliminated? And then you go back and look, you're like, okay, he just got really unlucky. Like there's just none of that was his fault.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like wasn't that Eric Jones this
That was
year?
Eric Jones.
Yeah, absolutely Eric Jones.
Or this past year, yeah. So let's head to Isaiah's. He has Chase Briscoe, Justin Allgaier, Ross Chastain, Harrison Burton, Riley Herbst, Noah Gregson, Austin Cindric, and Justin Haley making the round of 8. He has Michael Annett, Brandon Jones, Ryan Sieg, and Jeremy Clements getting eliminated in the round of 12. And I feel like his is honestly the most realistic eliminations. Like Michael Annett, Brandon Jones, you can't depend on them making it to the next round. And Ryan Sieg, Jeremy Clements, that's just an obvious pick, yeah. So that's all I got to say about that.
I don't know. He has Riley Herbst at 5th. That's pretty bold. So I have Austin Cindric at the 1, Chase Briscoe at 2, Ross Chastain at 3, Noah Gregson at 4, Allgaier at 5, Harrison Burton at 6, Brandon Jones 7, Justin Haley 8. So the first 4 out. Ryan Sieg, I think he is going to surprise a lot of people this year. I think he might actually get a win. I know I didn't predict him to get a win, but out of all the guys I didn't predict to get a win, I think he would be my favorite to surprise. Michael Annett, I don't want to get too much into it. Riley Herbst and then Jeremy Clements. Yeah, that's it. Don't have a lot to say.
We're gonna hop over to Nick's real quick. So Michael Annett, Justin Allgaier, Justin Haley, Ross Chastain, Chase Briscoe, Noah Gregson, Riley Herbst, and Harrison Burton all advance. Nothing like I don't see anyone there. I'm like, yeah, no, they won't advance. Maybe Michael Annett, but he has him as his first seed. He has him as first seed, so I think if Michael Annett's your first seed, I would assume he would have to advance. He has Jeremy Clements, Ryan Sieg, Austin Cindric, and Brandon Jones being eliminated. I think that's a little bit of a stretch with the Brandon Jones, or with the Austin Cindric, not Brandon Jones.
Well, he did the Noah Gregson thing you did, I guess. I love how everyone has Austin Cindric pretty high up except for Isaiah, but even he still has him in 7th, and then Nick has him in 11th. Like,
yeah, maybe he does have him being unlucky. When we were looking at this before, that makes sense with the Noah Gregson thing you said.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could see Brandon Jones just blowing it. So
all it takes to get caught up in just having 2 bad races and not winning the 3rd, and that's all it takes. And with as lackluster as the Xfinity Series is, I feel like the playoff points themselves, other than like the first 3 or 4, are going to be super close. So
100%.
You might see.
See, I disagree.
You might see a star driver get eliminated just because he drives for a big team. Not even a star driver, like a big team get eliminated early. Now, I don't think that'll be Austin Cindric at all. I feel like he's at least safe a couple rounds.
See, I think that those top echelons of drivers, because of how terrible the rest of the Xfinity series is going to be this year, I think like the top 4 or 5 in points are going to just be able to coast through till they get to like the round of, was it 6?
That's
Round
what
of
I
8,
said.
rather. Yeah.
That's literally what he just said.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think like the top 4 or 5 are
No, I
going
was
to be like far
agreeing.
away, and then everyone else just be super close.
Yeah.
All right, let's head to the round of 4, where things get dicey. All right, I feel like my round of 4 isn't all that surprising. I have Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, Noah Gragson, and Justin Allgaier. Those who I'm missing the round, Cody's going to love this because I was definitely the person he was hitting at. I don't see Harrison Burton making the round of or the final 4. I think Harrison Burton is definitely the best of the current crop of JGR Xfinity drivers, but being a rookie, I see him making it far enough, but not enough to challenge for the championship. And I have Ross Chastain, Brandon Jones, and Justin Haley. So it's not that I'm down on colleague racing. I just don't. Ross Chastain is very good, but I don't think he's good enough. Like, he's not going to do what he did for Nice in the Xfinity series. Like, if.
But did you think he was going to do what he did for Nice in the Truck Series?
I didn't think he was, but if he was going to do that in any series, it makes sense to be in the Truck Series. Like,
I give you that.
there's less Cinderella stories like that in Xfinity and Cup. Like, I don't know. And colleague is jumping from 1 full-time car to 2 full-time cars. I know they had 2 and 3 cars a lot last year, but they always planned for those races, so they put the extra time and focus into that second and third car for those races. Now they have to do that every single week. And
Aren't they running the 16 almost every race as well?
I don't know about almost
I
every
think
race,
so.
but I do know they are running them quite a bit. So, like, I don't know. I feel like
That's a good point.
they're jumping from 1 to 3 very fast. And like I said, I know they did that last year, but they specifically planned which race. So they would put the time and focus into that car for that race. Now they have to do 2 cars every single week. And I know they're like an RCR alliance. They get RCR equipment and stuff. But I just think it's a lot for a small team, so I don't see them going to the Final Four. I'm not disrespecting them. I have both of their cars making it to the round of 8. But to the Final Four for colleague, maybe next year. But this year, I think it's too soon. But I do have Ross Chastain. I don't have him out by that much. He's still 6th, so.
All right. I have Justin Allgaier, Austin Cindric, and Chase Briscoe. I feel like those 3 might be the easiest to predict in the Final Four. And then I went full-on wild card because I see Riley Hurst actually having a decent season. Nothing too unbelievable. I just think Ross Chastain gets caught up in something. Harrison Burton and Brandon Jones just may flounder in this round. And it's Michael Annett. It's the last guy, so I don't really see him challenging for that spot. And I see Riley Hurst just kind of sneaking his way in, similar to like Ryan Newman in the first year of the playoffs, where it's just like, how is he in the Final Four? And that's literally what you're going to say when you see Riley Hurst there. You're like, how did he get there?
You know, it's a bold prediction, but with the 2020 Xfinity Series, you kind of have to have one of those. I do want to point out something I forgot to mention. If you go back and listen to one of the past episodes of the podcast, I mentioned then that I predicted Riley Herbst would win at Talladega in the Xfinity Series, and I'm still standing by that. When we go to Talladega in May or April, whatever month it is, Riley Herbst is going to win the race. You heard it here second, because I said it in the podcast first. Now, let's head to Isaiah's Final Four predictions. He has Chase Briscoe, Justin Allgaier, Noah Gragson, and Austin Cindric. And he's on a similar boat. He has Ross Chastain and Justin Haley both getting eliminated in the round of 8, as well as Harrison Burton and Riley Herbst. So, honestly, mine and Isaiah's are very similar. We just swapped the Gibbs car, and we have the exact same eliminations for the round of 8. So far, 3 for 3, though, with Austin Cindric. And then you have Nick having him in 11th.
Sometimes you just can't fix stupid. Next, am I good to go? I have
Yeah.
Austin Cindric as the 1 seed. 2 is Chase Briscoe. I think those 2 are going to be like way above the rest this year. I think
That's
them
not even a
having
bold
that.
pick. I agree.
Yeah, no. I honestly, I think them 2 don't even have to win in the round of 8. I think those 2 could lock themselves in based on points, as long as they just don't get absolutely destroyed. I know that obvious, but Ross Chastain, I'm a bit higher on him, and mostly just because of what he did with Nice last year. Kind of really just opened my eyes, because everyone always says like, oh, like you gotta have all this money to make it, da da da. I feel like he's kind of doing it the right way. He's just going out there and he's wheeling the heck out of the trucks, cars, anything he gets in that has a chance, he makes it have a chance. 4, I have Noah Gragson. I think think he'll win their Martinsville race, the night actually not, it won't be at night. The Xfinity Martinsville race. I think he I think all of us actually have him. No, Casey doesn't, but I think he'll do really well at Martinsville. But for Ross Chastain, could easily see him not making it as well because of his aggressive driving style. I think he could get himself into trouble, and I don't think he is good enough at Martinsville to go out and win it.
He's running
So
second on the last lap there in the truck race.
yeah, I just don't. Compared to some of the other guys, I think he won't be able to go out. Like I think Gregson's gonna dominate that race.
Yeah, he should be the favorite heading in.
Yeah, because I think he probably has the most experience at Martinsville because these Xfinity regulars haven't run there.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I have Allgaier just missing out. If I had to take Chastain out because of his aggressive driving, I'd bump Allgaier in easily. And if Gregson doesn't win Martinsville, then Allgaier will get in above Gregson. Then I have Harrison Burton, Brandon Jones, and Justin Haley. I think just too much to overcome with the playoff points that I have the top 3 getting in this.
All right.
All right, we move on to old Nicholas. We got Michael Annett, Justin Allgaier, Justin Haley, and Ross Chastain all making the final 4. Chase Briscoe, Noah Gragson, Riley Herbst, and Harrison Burton out. Bold, bold, bold.
He is huge on Call League, apparently.
Yeah, bold, bold, bold. And having Michael Annett in there as well, I think that's interesting.
He's
I wonder
committed.
if he has him winning like 8 or 9 races.
Yeah, he's just full blown. Like Michael Annett, this is his year.
Yeah.
He's been first seed since the beginning. All right, let's head on to our championship predictions.
Oh boy.
So, start with me, obviously. So I have Justin Allgaier winning the championship. I want to quickly mention, I originally had Noah Gragson because I forgot it wasn't at Homestead. And I was like, Phoenix, and I looked who I had in the Final Four, and I was like, oh, Allgaier's got it. He is so good at Phoenix. I don't know, man. I don't see any of the other guys being as aggressive as Justin is on restarts at Phoenix, and I don't see anyone else contending with him at Phoenix, if I'm being honest.
If he makes the Final Four, I think he's definitely winning it.
Yeah, I don't see Cindric, I don't see Briscoe, and a lot of people.
I'm against that because I have Chase Briscoe beating Justin Allgaier to become my champion in the Xfinity Series.
All right.
I just think Chase Briscoe puts it together. I don't know. I just feel like he's the next dude to do it in the Xfinity Series in terms of getting it done and just actually putting together a full season. I think he's going to be the one to do it and get the championship this year.
He's really really good.
Yep. And obviously,
I think he's underrated.
Yeah, he's very underrated. And obviously, Isaiah agrees with you because he too has Chase Briscoe winning the championship. And I think y'all just said everything you need to say about Chase Briscoe, so you can go ahead with yours, Cody.
Yeah. So I have Austin Cindric winning. I put a note in my notebook that I wanted to say is I figured I'd ask you if you might know what's the number of wins that's like the most all time in Xfinity. Do you know? Is it 7?
I have no
Bell?
idea.
I think it's 7 or 8. I think Cindric gets 8 wins. I think he.
I'm pretty sure Reddick had 8 this year, didn't he? Or last year?
I don't think he breaks the record. I just think he becomes like one of the top guys in the record. I put the number at 8 wins this year.
Oh, Reddick didn't have 8. What am I talking about?
I think he just has an incredible year. I think he's at the best Xfinity team right now with Penske. It's kind of the only one. Who else would you guys say is like? Because I know you guys have your champions, but overall, who would you say is the best team in Xfinity? Not to go too much off topic.
Probably Junior Motorsports. If
Junior
we're being
Motorsports.
honest, like complete team, Junior Motorsports.
Okay.
Are we talking about like including drivers or equipment and
Or
pit
I'm
crews?
just saying like who has the cars? Like
Whenever the cars hit the tracks, I'm going Gibbs, but it's the drivers that are kind of holding that back, in my opinion.
yeah.
Yeah, no, actually, I think that's actually probably the best.
Yeah, that's
best
a good
answer to
point. I think Cindric's the best driver team tandem. That's why I have him with the championship. And
All right, and then we have Nick's prediction, which he has gone ride or die with Michael and that, and I, for one, love it. I am so on board with this prediction. Like, if this happens, this is going to be awesome.
And when he gets eliminated in the first round, we can make fun of him
And
the
when
rest of
Michael
the
Net misses the playoffs,
I was about
because
to say,
he's
yeah,
so
when Michael
terrible.
Net misses the playoffs, and
That's impossible. There's no way he
I
misses.
mean, crazy
There
things
is.
happened.
Okay, but this Xfinity series. Now that we're done for a second, this Xfinity series sucks.
it does. It is very bad.
Um,
Last year
last
was the
year I
highest of
watched almost
highs, and this
every
year is the
race,
lowest of lows.
and so I'm going to Texas with Brayson here for the Texas race, and we're talking about like the plans or whatever. And I said, "Oh, well, do you want to go to the truck race?" Like we were kind of talking about it. Did we even bring up going to the
No,
Xfinity Series
the
race?
Xfinity race wasn't even like never
I
even
think I
considered.
brought up going to the Cowboy Stadium and going to doing a bunch of other stuff. I don't think I brought up the Xfinity Series race once.
I didn't bring it up on purpose because if you would have said that, I would have just left you on red. Like it's
Yeah, it's
pointless going to that. Chase Briscoe's winning the Texas race in the spring. I'm calling it now. Like
but who cares? We're gonna be in the hotel room
yeah,
out in Dallas because I literally don't care at all about the Xfinity Series this year. I don't know if I'll even watch half the races this year.
watch. We're talking all this mess now, but this is about to be the best Xfinity series of all time. Like best Xfinity season.
Michael Net winning 12 races in the championship, the most dominant performance you've ever
He
seen.
wins every playoff race.
I
Yeah, it's not even close. Like, no one even touches him.
But is there like I mean, so you're saying that joking around, not the Annette thing, but the best Xfinity series. Is there any way that this could turn into a great Xfinity series, like that we're just overlooking it? Like,
Honestly, the at the top. Okay, so there's not enough quality cars with quality drivers to fill a 12 driver grid, but there is a good solid amount of drivers. You got the Noah Gregsons, the Austin Cindrics, the Justin Allgaiers, the Harrison Burtons, the Chase Briscoes. So I do think that the first half of the playoff grid could put together a good season where everyone wins like 3-4 races each.
yeah.
Ross Chastain, Justin Haley get a pair each. Like I could genuinely see that. But what I think the likely scenario is you have the big two of Briscoe and Cindric, and then like I mentioned, Allgaier just lucks his way to Phoenix and just wins the race. So like I feel that's more likely. But would it surprise me if it's actually a good season and we have like 5 drivers who genuinely could win the championship and you never really know who's on top? I mean, I know, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Do you think like so? The way I was thinking is, I see like 5 or 6 competitive drivers, but what are the odds that all 5 to 6 teams bring good cars every week? So what I think is gonna probably happen is like each week there's gonna be 2 of the 3 are gonna be really good, and then the other guys are gonna have off weeks. I don't think there's gonna be many weeks where all 6 to 7 competitive cars bring. I don't think 7. That's pushing it. I think 4 to 5 is the number, but that's why I'm really, really down on it. Is I don't think we're gonna see a lot of like what we saw last year, where the big 3 almost always all had good cars at the same.
Yeah, last year was a really rare situation. We're done with the predictions now, guys. We're done with the predictions now, guys. If you guys want to click off, we're just gonna give our thoughts for a couple more minutes. But last year was like the first year in a long time in any of the series where you had 3 drivers every week bring their A game, and you genuinely didn't know who was gonna win that race. Like Bell, Reddick, and Custer. Name me any track, and I couldn't tell you who won that race because they brought it each week. Like,
Right. And they were beating Cup guys too. Like some of them not very often have we seen that where like if a Cup guy came down, it was actually competitive with the Cup guy. I think that's why I'm really excited for the rookie class of this year. But I think it was not Christopher Bell. I think it was Cole Custer beat Kyle Busch at Auto Club,
yep.
and Kyle Busch was just like, he pretty much was like good to him. Like he wasn't a little pissant after, you know.
Yeah.
So I respect that. And then I was at the Bristol race, and Tyler Reddick, man, I know that we're going back into last year, but I don't think we're gonna see someone be able in the Xfinity series. I guess maybe because they all suck so bad, but like spin out and then still come from the back up to the front and win the race. I don't. Maybe now because they all suck. It's possible, but I'm really out on the Xfinity series this year.
Yeah. I do think there's some potential the Xfinity series to be good, but my hype levels for it are below Trucks and Cup. And I'm very hyped for Cup and Trucks, to be honest. And speaking of Cup, tomorrow we have our in-depth Cup predictions. I hope everyone in the Bros makes it. I doubt it, but we should have
Very
for
in-depth.
yeah, very in-depth. Like we predict the winner of every race. We predict the playoff grid for each round. We predict obviously the champion. We predict the Rookie of the Year standings. So it's gonna be a long one. It's probably more of a podcast length. This was probably a podcast length, honestly. But I'm excited to get into that one. So, I want to thank you two for coming on board and giving your predictions. We're going to come back, hopefully the week after Homestead, and look at these, see who were the closest, and maybe we'll do like a reaction to it or something.
The week after Phoenix, you mean?
God, I did it again. The week after Phoenix in November. I plan on going to the damn race, and I can't remember which track it's at. But all right.
That's going to be a good time. Your whole time you're going to be thinking you're in Homestead, Miami, and we're using Arizona
Flew to
time.
Miami to watch the race, and it is definitely up there.
Well, all right. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you stuck around to this far, I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, we'll see you guys next time. Later.